Let me pull up my little seat ottoman so I can tell you a tale about what would they call the program known as Love Island. Oh, I'm really low down. Hold on, yeah. So I'm back. We're not gonna spend too much time on the trivialities. I just want to talk about Love Island. I want to talk a little bit about Casa, not much. I just have a few thoughts that I want to get across, and mostly I want to talk about movie night. So let's get going. And by the way, hello Starshine, welcome. My name is Kayla. You may or may not have heard of me, and if you have, we met under mystical circumstances. So yeah, Love Island, let's talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire some thoughts on Casa. First off, let me just say, I love the way the show keeps me on edge. I do. The way I sometimes feel as if I'm in one of the relationships in this show, except my couple, my toxic counterpart, is the show itself. I feel like the show and I are a sort of like toxic, very like 1950s coded, whirlwind, terrible couple where it's like we're very passionate about each other, but we also argue a lot, and I'm constantly threatening to take the kids. But every now and then in this made-up relationship I'm talking about, the show makes me a grand gesture. There's a grand gesture that keeps me there. I can't help but look at the show and go, I do love him. They are the father of my made-up children in this scenario. Anyway, Love Island really keeps me on my toes, and I love that. Casa Amor absolutely saved this season. Let's just get that out there. Everyone knows it. Casa saved this season. However, I don't think it would have worked if they hadn't live streamed the boys when they first arrived at Casa, because those girls were locked in. They really were, and production knew they had to break them up. I love that. Thank you, production, for making sure they didn't all sleep in soul ties like I thought they would. I thought all the girls were going to sleep outside, so I'm glad that didn't happen. Although, I mean, could Casa have been a little better for the girls? Yes, but that's always the case. The girls are always so loyal, so, I can't be too mad about it. And one thing I said before in my last video, I gushed a lot about production this season, and I still believe that. I still believe that production is doing a lot of stuff right. Like, I love what they did with the initial coupling. I thought that was so fun. They've made a lot of messy choices, but why is it that we haven't had like any dates with bombshells? We had like a sleepover with Kata and was it Corbin? No, it wasn't. Who was the other bombshell who came in with Kata? It feels so long ago. Are they even here anymore? I don't know. Who came in with Kata? Oh, it was Caleb. Caleb came in. No, wait, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Who am I thinking of? Oh my God. Oh, it was Gabriel. It was Gabriel. Bye, Gabriel. Wow, that was a big brain fart. Completely forgot. Sorry. Casey also, during Casa, he gave me massive ick because he said something about where he was like, well, here, I got aura. And I'm like, bitch, everyone here is like, they know about you. They were told to go after you. Like they were told by production, like, go after these men. Of course, they're gonna act like they're attracted to you. They want to be on the show, Casey. At this point in Casa, I was chomping at the bit for all of War McGards's sincerely yours best wishes. I was waiting for all of his women to meet up and compare notes. Okay, I'm gonna say it now. If Kenzie were a Taylor Swift album, she would be Speak Now. I'm not even a Swiftie, but I know the gravity of that statement. She would be Speak Now, and if you know, you know. Chapman, Corbin, and Parmita, you know what they remind me of when they talk together? They remind me of this video I saw years and years ago on old YouTube where someone took two iPhones and they made the series talk to each other. That's what I feel like I'm witnessing when I see Parmita and Corbin talk. Or it's almost like if you took two chat GPTs and you made them talk to each other. Do you think if that happened, if two chat GPTs talked to each other, they would form like some sort of superposition and then cancel each other out and then there'd be no AI? That's a thought. Let that sink in. Recoupling, absolute cinema. What's to say about the recoupling that has been said already? It was magical, absolute cinema. The contrast between Caleb and Jaden versus everyone else. Like, Caleb and Jaden came in and everyone was like, cute. Oh my God. So cute. She's hot. Yes. Yes. And everyone else came and they got their heads cut off. Also, Tiara. Mad respect to Tiara. I really like Tiara so far. You gotta admit, my girl Tiara at the recoupling, she was backed into a corner. Is she correct for defending KC? Not entirely. However, she is coupled with him, and if people were just like attacking the person I was coupled up with like that, I'd say something too. And you know what? She didn't cuss anyone out. She wasn't condescending. She called Trinity a little girl. That was kind of condescending. But she didn't call anyone like horrible names. She didn't like shame anyone. She didn't raise her voice. So Tiara, you get points for that. My absolute vitriol for Zach continues. Zach doing that thing all the time where he'll like give something and then take it back, you know, like with the I'm closed off. Actually, no, I'm not. I love you. Actually, no, I'm not. The thing that really pissed me off was there's this chat that Zach and Kata were having in the episode before movie night. Maybe it was the one with Megan Thee Stallion. I can't remember. Kata was like, I'm not your girlfriend. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, don't can do that. Don't dangle the girlfriend label in front of her. I don't know if she even wants it that bad. So I was annoyed with that. Does anyone else look at them and see Jade and Beck from Victorious? I mean, I think Kate is a nicer version of Jade, but you know, that's the vibe. At this point, I had so many questions about Zach and Alana. I honestly, okay, we're getting a little ahead. I didn't think they were going to talk about Alana at all leaving. So I can't wait. Oh, also, not Brinity making it official. What is that what we call them? Do we call them Brinity or do we call them Trice? I kind of like Trice, not them making it official. No, I don't know. I'm not getting any. I love Trinity and Bryce isn't the worst, but there's just something about him. I'm like, I'm waiting for you to fuck up, my friend. I've got my eyes on you. So that's how I feel about Trice. Also, Megan Thee Stallion coming into the villa. I'm pretty sure this has happened before. Did it happen in season 7? I missed season 7. I knew nothing was going to surpass season 6, so I didn't even bother with the following season. But I think Megan's been in the villa before. Guys, I mean, who doesn't love Megan Thee Stallion? Let's just get that out of the way. I still must profess my love for her. Like ever since Girls in the Hood, I was locked in. So I was psyched to see my girl. However, some of her takes, well, really just one take of hers was incorrect. She was incorrect to validate Kenzie doing the splits. She did that at some point. Kenzie did the splits and Megan gassed her up. And I was like, no, we need less of that. We need to discourage Kenzie from doing the splits because she uses it way too much. It's like the same thing for when like a choir kid uses their singing ability for everything. No shade to you choir kids. Like, you guys are so talented. But time and place. And Kenzie just likes to add in those splits any chance she can. And it's really obnoxious. Also, the Megan Thee Stallion competition. One thing I would love to do to like enhance the game, and I think they do this with Love Island UK. I want there to be more consequences to winning the comps because nothing happens when you win a competition. Like the whole point of the competition is really just to like spill tea, which I get. But I really like, couldn't the prize be like a date with whichever islander of your choice? Imagine how messy that would be. Oh, so I wish there were more prizes for it because they make a big deal in this competition about how it's girls versus boys. And then when they reveal that the guys win, like they don't really get a prize. They just go, Carl and Amora are back. And that's not really a prize for the winner, but whatever. Carl and Amora coming back. I'm very, how do I put this? If it had to be any bombshells from Casa coming back, I'd rather it be Carl and Amora. If it were anyone else, it would have been a complete waste. I'd much rather see fresh bombshells. And I still stand by that, actually. Also, Carl kind of looks like Miles Teller. I wrote that down. My partner was like, who does he look like? And I was like, obviously Miles Teller. And he was like, yes. Oh, also, the gaslighting of Gal to Jen was crazy. I can't even get into that. I'm like trying to do this on a time limit because someone's coming to fix my fridge, so I gotta go fast. I don't have time to talk about Gal and Jen, but yeah. Is it Gal? Is it Gal? Gal? The Gal. The episode of movie night, episode 25. This is what I wanted to talk about. First off, let's talk about the stuff that happened before movie night. You know, I was excited about Carl coming back because I really like Carl, but him being back feels weird in a way that I can't really articulate. And some people are saying like, oh, well, Anaya should have not been able to get Carl back because she needs to learn that there's consequences. I think that's a little extreme. Like, I think learning experiences are a thing in relationships, but when people say like, oh, there are consequences, it sounds like they want to punish her. And I don't see why we should be punishing a woman for the feelings she has. I don't know. That being said, I think it's kind of a waste of time to bring Carl back because my thing is, Anaya said herself that Carl is perfect and checks all her boxes, but she still picked someone else. And I know she's happy that he's here now, and I don't know how long that's going to last because there was something missing the first time. So I really feel like they should have just brought in fresh bombshells in the long run, even though, again, I really like Carl. I think he seems very sweet too. But I don't know. I feel like Anaya is just so happy right now because she was so sad. So part of her happiness comes from the fact that she's no longer in that like dark place, or she feels like she's no longer in that dark place. Let's be real. She's still in the dark place because she's still very hurt. But who I do love back is Amora. Amora, because we need more witnesses from Casa. I loved when Jen was talking about Gaul wanting to explore other girls, and she was like, what girls? Because like, correct. Who likes Gaul? I forget he's there like half the time. Speaking of people I forget are there, Kenzie talking to Dylan. I didn't know who this man was until this episode. I completely glazed over him during Casa, and I think part of it is because I just don't care about Kenzie's storylines. I don't. Like, I'm not very invested in Kenzie, so I don't really watch her storylines very closely anymore. But Dylan crying over Kenzie saying she made out with Gaul. At first, I kind of felt bad for Dylan because I don't like seeing people cry. Like, that sucks. I cry and that sucks. But the way he just kept crying like some toddler, you know, like that's how toddlers cry. They start crying about the thing they're upset about and you try to console them and then they walk off and they just like keep walking around still crying. And it's like, dude, get a grip. I know you're 2. But this man's not. This man is not 2. He's like almost 30. Or is 30. I don't know. I don't know these people's age. But yeah, like Dylan grumbling in the bedroom and he was like in the mirror, he's like, open my fucking heart for no reason. Like, shut up. You need to buck up, sir. But at the same time, I think some of the girls have been doing that to the guys for the same exact thing. Oh, and also like Kenzie saying she wanted to explore other people still, and Dylan saying something like, I thought we were locked in or something. I don't know. I don't really care. Oh, also in the vein of Carl and Amora, this episode, I felt like the show was really like production was really milking it for the fact that they brought back Carl and Amora. Did you notice that? They're like, wow, look how great we are, guys. We brought back 2 people you love. Remember how much you love these people? And I'm like, yeah, they were cool. And also at one point in the show, Ian Sterling says something along the lines of like, you've heard WWJD, like what would Jesus do? Here it's WWCD, what would Carl do? And I'm like, I feel like you guys are really overestimating how much we like Carl. Like Carl is fine. Like he's very handsome, very nice, but like, it's not like he's baby girl or anything. You need to earn that, sir. Oh, and finally, this episode, the Islanders finally, like some of them, it was like Jen and a few of the girls, they finally started pointing out that Kenzie really likes attention. Thank you. Thank you. She likes attention and she likes the attention of guys who like her friends. One thing I thought was also really interesting is I feel like there's a very specific word for Kenzie's behavior and we all know it. It's the term pick me, and no one's like using it because I think it's like a dirty word in the villa now because it's very accusing. It's like the opposite of girls girl. You know what I mean? There's girls and then there's pick me's. You do not want to be a pick me. Oh, but you do want to be a pygmy. A pygmy, like a pygmy hedgehog. That'd be fun. Oh, and Jen like even calls Kenzie out and she tells Kenzie that in the real world she probably wouldn't want to be her friend if she was behaving like this. And Kenzie's just taking it personally and not like listening to the criticism. Like, dude, there's a nugget of wisdom here. I wish Jen didn't back down because she backs down a little, and I get that. Like I would have done the same, but it's like we want her to hold her ground because she is right to call out Kenzie. But the icing on the cake was really when Kenzie went to Dylan, who she hurt over making out with Gaul. Like that whole thing happened. And after Jen calls her out for it, she then goes to Dylan and rants about it. And Dylan, I can tell Dylan's just like, what do you want me to do in this situation? Like, yeah, it was actually really over the line for you to do that. Like, so I did enjoy that. And I think they ended the conversation on a good note, but I can tell like Kenzie was kind of like, what do you mean? Oh, Melanie getting the movie night text was messy. It was almost like the show was warning Melanie, and I loved that. Smoke circles in the sky, danger Will Robinson. And Zach already doing damage control before movie night even starts. That I couldn't ask for more from you right now, Zach. I really couldn't. Okay, movie night. Movie night starts. Everyone's got their popcorn. Who else noticed that they didn't do fun puns for the movie titles? I was livid. That's my favorite part of movie night, is seeing the title of the movie, and it's always like they'll do something where it's like an actual movie title but it'll have the name of an Islander, and they were lazy this season. They didn't do it and I was mad. And usually they can like pick and like they can like assume what it is from the title. I was mad. It's like such a nice little coup de grace on movie night, so I was mad they didn't have that, but they made up for it with something. They made up for it by finally closing ties on the Alana drama. That's fun. And I was so happy. I was singing, I was screaming, I was drinking wine, I was dancing, I was ecstatic. So they showed the Zach and Alana connection. They were showing him talking about his cat, which by the way, Kata said that's his family cat. It's not even his cat. He just flaunts his cat like he's like a cat dad, but like his parents raised it apparently. No, I'm not gonna fact check it. I believe Kata. But yeah, they have like their whole like connection over their cats. Like Kata sees that. She sees a bunch of other stuff that's like really hard to see. And I was waiting for them to be like, and Alana left. Like I was waiting for the text to be on screen and I was like, why aren't they showing it? But then it ended that clip. And I was like, they're not going to mention that Alana left because Zach is still making it seem like, oh, but I picked you. I picked you. And yeah, I was pissed that at first they left out that fact, but my girls never let me down. Let me tell you, my girls, Kata, that bitch never lets me down. Because then they show like Casey and TT. And first off, I adore TT so much. The way she was just like biting her nail, watching Casey flirt with her, so good. Like TT's loving this. She's loving this. I think TT does a really good job like riding the fence because she can be a girl's girl, but every now and then she'll see something, she'll be like, I can be a little messy. I can enjoy my mess. And I respect that. Oh, but in this, I think it's the part where Casey's talking. They finally figure it out. My girls figured it out. Let me tell you, women can do anything. We're so smart. My girls cracked the case. They realized that Alana wasn't there anymore. They were like, the angel isn't there. The angel isn't there. I got onto my feet and I clapped like I was in church. I don't go to church, but I clapped and I said, praise be. I was so happy. I feel like a ghost who was the victim of a crime and that crime has finally been solved. That's how I feel. I feel vindicated. I feel like I got justice. Also, not just that, but then getting the confirmation from the Casa girls being like, oh yeah, she left like 2 days in. Getting that confirmation, having all of the narratives finally crossing. You know what it was like? It was like the end of season 1 of Stranger Things when all the groups finally get together, like the kids and the teens and the adults, like they finally get together and all the genres converge. It felt like that. It was giving season finale, honestly. Also, I did love Tierra calling out all the guys being like, did you or did you not pull me aside and say that Casey is different here than he is in the villa? Like, you were all telling me how happy he is. And not that with Anaya going, thank you, TT. Thank you, TT. I was like, oh my God, these girls are gonna be friends for life. I really want that. I want these girls to be friends for life. I want that to be the one thing. If Anaya gets anything out of this villa, I hope she gets really good friendships. I really do. Oh man, I thought they were going to roast Casey on a pyre. I really did. I thought they were gonna burn him at the stake. We're all so tired by the time it gets to Sincere. It was diabolical though that they left Sincere for last because we are exhausted by that point. But my favorite thing about that scene was Dylan eating his popcorn as he was watching Sincere deliver his apology. That was good. Finally, poor Melanie. My girl has no fight left in her. Can we please just like mercy send her home? At this point, can we send her back to her mom? Like, I think she has some healing to do. But one thing they did during movie night that really irritated me, they kept telling Melanie, like, see, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Even though you're still eliminating that idea by saying like, oh, it's not true. You're still bringing up that idea. She doesn't need to be reminded that she's not crazy. I really don't. So I got mad about that. And yeah, we don't have an episode tonight, but tomorrow is movie night part 2. We'll see if I keep watching after that. I usually stop after movie night because I'm like, what else is there to see? Them winning? I don't want to watch them win. I don't care. Like by the end, the last few episodes of The Villa are so, it's like the last few days of college when you're about to graduate and like no one else is on campus anymore. It's boring. So we'll see. But I really enjoyed movie night. This was a very fun time. Had a blast. And yeah, I was so glad to gab about it with you. So thank you for sticking around with me to yap. If you like this video somehow, please interact with it however you like. You can like, you can subscribe, you can send me a friendly comment, you can even give the screen a little smooch, but don't do that if you're at a public computer. That's yucky. Anyway, bye.